Let's get comfy in here. Kicking the shoes off.
Taking the shoes off.
Yeah. It's a great harmony.
You know what? You're going to just have to deal
With what?
My face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know why you got comfy right away. There we go.
Thanks so much.
I'm going to take my shoes off too.
Podcast.
Bro, I actually don't know if I can talk today properly.
I know.
It's okay. We'll try it out.
We haven't talked in a little bit.
We haven't filmed our podcast in a week?
It's
2
been
weeks?
a little bit longer than it's been since I went away. Like before.
It's like
before
3
I went
weeks,
away.
actually.
Yeah, because we're supposed to have one out for next week, technically. Yeah. Okay. Today, what are we even talking about?
Discipline, burnout, and knowing when to pull back.
Wow, okay. Hey, guys.
Hi, guys.
How are ya? Howdy.
I'm tired.
Yeah, aren't we all? But
oh, yeah.
Welcome.
But it's okay. Summer's on its way. Spring's on its way.
Yep.
Winter is
almost
going goodbye, so the seasonal depression is
leaving our bodies. Yes. Goodbye, seasonal depression. Hello, summer.
Hello,
madness.
spring.
Yes.
The season of blooming.
Happiness. Wow, yeah. Fun fact, spring is both of our birthdays. So.
That's why it's our favorite.
Yeah.
But I have allergies during spring, so I actually hate spring.
Yeah, I forgot about your dandelion.
I love it because it's our birthdays.
Yeah.
Taurus are the best.
Taurus is the best birthday sign there is. Mm-hmm. If you tell us otherwise, you're wrong because we're a week apart. Yeah. And honestly, Taurus are just like the best type of people. Like they're loyal. They're what else are we? We're just loyal as fuck.
We're loyal. We're stubborn.
Yeah. But I wouldn't say that's a positive, but I mean like
but we are stubborn. But like everybody has something, you know? Good people.
We are great people.
We're great.
Yeah. But anyways, welcome back to another podcast episode of Between Reps, where we talk about fitness, life, girlhood, girl talk, everything, you name it. My name is Sierra.
And I'm Krista, your favorite hosts.
Yes. Your favorite host.
Your favorite host.
We are back.
We're back.
And yeah, we just want to say firstly, thank you to everybody who's been listening and following along to our podcast journey, who comes to our events. Our most recent event back in March.
So amazing. Good. The turnout, amazing. The amount of like new girls that we met, so nice. Yeah. Like we just have the best community and it's always so much fun.
We really do. So if you're one of those girls that came to our event, honestly, like you made our hearts so warm because all of our past events have been like good, obviously, but we were in the building phase. But
this was like the first event where it was like 90% of people that came to the event, we didn't know you. We've never met you. We didn't even like whatever.
Yeah.
So it was really nice.
Yeah. Like seeing all the new faces and just like taking that step to come out to our events and like meet us, meet new girls. And like, we know it's intimidating sometimes, but like just big kudos to you. We can't wait to see all of our next events because we're so excited.
So excited. And if you haven't been to one of our events yet, this is your sign to just come.
Yep.
Everybody loves the vibes. The girls are always so welcoming and nice. So whether you come with your best friend, whether you come by yourself, you're going to have lots of fun.
Yeah, lots of fun. So stay tuned for our next events, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, how have you been?
Anyways, I've been great, you know, honestly. I just went on a trip to Jamaica. Don't side-eye me. Don't side-eye me.
She left me here in the cold.
Yeah, I did, honestly.
And if you remember in the last episode, she was in Arizona.
Yeah, I'm just a traveler because I don't like Canada.
Yeah.
I don't want to, I need to live somewhere hot. Like, I'm just meant to be by a beach. So, anyways, one day. But, yeah, I just came back from vacation. Honestly, it was great. I went with my family, and it was just nice, like, family quality time.
So nice in the sun.
Yeah, it was needed. I haven't been to like a resort with like my family in like a few years, so it was nice, you know, because my grandparents are getting older. So it's just nice to spend like time with everybody. But now we're back to reality.
Back to reality.
Yeah.
But
How have you been though?
I've been okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I've been tired. There's just so many things. The winter depression, the snow, burnout, honestly.
Wow, it's funny you say burnout because isn't that the
That's
topic?
our topic of the day, guys. Burnout.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I've just been in a quarter life crisis, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
But we're slowly pushing through, and now with the sun coming out, we're getting our little spark back.
Yeah, that's good.
But yeah, as C said, today's topic is gonna be focused on, discipline, burning out, and like knowing when to pull yourself back, and knowing when you can have discipline and push yourself and always keep going, but like when do you need to take a break and just like stop for a moment?
Yeah, I think it's like a big thing of like knowing the difference of, just constantly being on the go, always having something to do, being disciplined, go, go, go.
Yeah.
And that's great. And, like we're very busy people. We're very much motivated. We're in the gym consistently. We're building everything on the side. We're working. We're everything. But it's also good to know when you need to take a rest.
Yeah.
And I feel like both of us kind of struggle with this is like we always need to be doing something because like if I'm not doing something, I feel like I'm being unproductive and like lazy.
Yeah.
Where it's like sometimes you do need to like listen to your body and your mind as well and take that rest period like when you need to, because you can't be going all the time. You're just going to run yourself into the ground.
It's not physically, humanly possible to do that for 24 hours of the day, every single day during the week.
Yeah, it is hard. And like knowing the difference is like something like I feel like we struggle with.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of people struggle with that too, especially like, when you're in, especially everybody in this like age bracket of like your early 20s, late 20s, even like 30s, the rest of your life, honestly, moving from here. But it's like we're all trying to figure out that next step in life where our path is, whether it's like, you're working towards your career, you're trying to figure out what your career path is, what you want to do with your life, you're trying out different things, you're building a business, you're like, whatever it is that you're doing. I feel like a lot of people work so hard to just like make it work. And like, we all want it to work right away. And then when it doesn't, it's like this like disappointment almost sometimes, but it's like, when you're building, for example, when you're building a business, it takes time. It could take years. It's not going to happen right away. Or like if it happens for somebody, for one person, it might take like a month to build $1 million business versus for somebody else, it might take them 5 years. So it's like knowing when to like take a break and not continuously push yourself because you see everybody else doing so well, or you see somebody else like they're working so hard and things are going well for them, but like you're working just as hard and maybe it's not going as well for you.
And like in that instance, like you also don't know if those people that are achieving X, Y, Z maybe have a whole team that are like helping them. Maybe they have parents that are helping fund their businesses that you see. Like you genuinely never know. And so to compare yourself to somebody that you see that has something that you're working towards or has that business built that you want to achieve is just so unattainable. It's like we're trying to build our brand, right? We're trying to build both our personal brands, stuff outside of that, like work outside of that. We're trying to build our podcast. We're trying to build our events and everything. And like,
it can be a lot. Like that's a lot to take in.
Yeah. It's a lot to manage.
Yeah.
And obviously we're doing so much and like, we don't have a team.
No, it's just us.
It's
us.
It's just us.
Yeah.
Right here. I feel like it's hard to kind of like define. It's hard to kind of like define like the difference between like what discipline is versus like what burnout is. And I feel like
knowing what that difference is hard for a lot of people to kind of like
differentiate.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like for me, like discipline is like, kind of doing something even though you don't feel like it. It's like showing up to the job, showing up to the gym, showing up to this event you committed to or whatever the case is.
And like also when you're showing up, it's like even if you don't feel like it, it's like following the plan, not your mood.
Exactly.
That's like the biggest motto, sign, whatever for like what does discipline mean?
100%. It's like you're not always going to be in the mood to go to the gym, to show up to work, to show up to whatever. But your discipline is what reinforces that plan that you set out. And exactly what Krista said, like it's not, you don't just say like, I'm just going to give up because I'm not in the mood to do it. Like
Exactly.
you're following the plan despite what your mood says. You're showing up despite those things. And that's what real discipline is. And that's the same thing for like the business that we're building. Like we're showing up. Even right now, we both had long days, long week ahead, or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
We didn't even really feel like coming to talk on this podcast. No. But what do?
We're talking.
We're talking.
But like we love to talk. But like, you know, it is a lot after a long day or after, you know, a long week and stuff. It's like, I just want to like be cozy and sleep or just like have a chill time, you know?
I don't want to like come here and talk or respond to an email or edit something.
But this is like our passion project, as we've mentioned in like previous episodes. So it's like, you know, we want to build a community of our listeners and everything. So we're going to keep showing up. We're going to keep sharing our little insights and just life in general. So
because it's like, how can we, again, we've said this before, but like, how can we tell you guys to do stuff when we're not even showing up for ourselves to do it? And that's in every aspect of our life, right?
Exactly.
And I feel like your discipline is like a very clear, structured, grounded goal or goals for yourself that are intentional, that you show up and you work towards despite your mood, despite what you're going through, despite anything. You still show up and put effort into those things. I feel like you have to be very intentional, like I said.
Yeah.
You have to know exactly why you're working towards the thing, and that derives like the outcome, right?
Exactly. Because like when you're disciplined, as C said, those are the kind of emotions that you would feel, versus when you're in a burnout kind of stage, you're feeling drained, you're feeling like resentful for whatever it is that you're doing, and you're just like, you're forcing it. And so it's like, when you reach that stage of burnout, you need to know when you need to take a step back and just like have a day for yourself, or just clear your head a little bit. And like, even for the gym, people go through like gym plateaus or like a burnout with the gym. And most of the time it's because all 7 days of the week you're moving your body and you're lifting, and it's like, your body needs a break. You can't just be lifting 7 days a week and expect your muscles to be like, like we're gonna grow, you're pushing us every day. Like, no, they need time to recover. But the same way that your muscles need time to recover, you yourself, like your brain needs time to just like relax, rejuvenate, and just like reset.
Exactly, because your muscles actually grow and increase in size when you're resting and recovering. So that's literally translates into everything else in your life. Like Krista said, like, you need to have that downtime, those days for yourself. And I know we kind of like idolize like, you know, self-care days and whatever, but I think it's like,
it's true
more
though.
to that. Yeah, like you do need those, and like you need those days not just to have a face mask and put those on, but intentional time with yourself or with whoever that makes you kind of feel like, you just know, just like at ease,
calm,
to reset your brain, your body, your mind,
away
everything.
From the computer, away from the phone, the emails, everything, and just like be with yourself. Read a book. Go catch some grass outside.
Catch some grass.
Yeah, touch some grass.
The butterflies.
Yeah, exactly.
No, for real. And then like for me, the way I kind of like reset when I'm kind of having like a busy week, or you know, so much is going on, and like I feel like I'm just like so scatterbrained, is I dedicate time like every Sunday. Yeah, Kristen knows, like that's like those
Sunday
are my days.
Sunday resets. Sunday resets are the best.
They are crucial.
They're
and
crucial,
like, whether that be on like a Sunday or whatever day like you designate throughout the week, I truly believe having a day, or at least like a carved out block period of time in your evening or whatever, that you set intentional time to grocery shop, meal prep for the week, take like your everything shower, maybe like reset and journal or read or whatever.
Plan out your week, like write down like everything that you have to do or want to do during that week or whatever, so that you're like prepped and ready, and you're not like, oh my God, wait, I have to do this, but I have to do this. Where versus now you have a clear list and you can like kind of prioritize, okay, I need to get this thing done first and then this. So you have a structured order of like what you need to get done.
Exactly. And I feel like if you don't have time to sit with yourself, even for like an hour or two just to do that, then I feel like your whole week just kind of goes to like, you know,
chaos. Yeah.
It's literally chaos. Like if I don't have that week, I'll be scattered. I'll be buying food out when I don't want to. I don't want to be eating outside. Yeah. I'll be spending money. Yeah. I'll be so like everywhere. Like it's just a lot. Yeah. So I feel like knowing yourself and knowing what you need in those moments to reset, refocus, and set yourself up for the week to win are crucial.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like there's also been like times like, and maybe people can like relate to this as well, is like where you're pushing through moments and where you think you're being disciplined, where you think you're being consistent, all of those things. And maybe you are to a degree, where in reality you should be taking rest and should be taking some time to take those moments to reset and refocus.
Yeah, because if you don't, like, if you're pushing yourself to exhaustion and you're getting work, you might be getting work done in your eyes, but really that's just a poor quality of work. If you're somebody that's a creative person and your job is to create, your brain is not in that right what's the word?
Creative like mode.
Yeah, the creative mode to like actually articulate and like create something meaningful. Instead, it's like just like a whatever kind of piece of work or whatever. And so it's like you need, like, sometimes the biggest form of discipline is knowing to just like stop. Like reset yourself, take that day for yourself, take those few hours for yourself so that your brain can breathe.
I think that's like a good point too, is like even when it comes to like content and stuff like that, I feel like we experience like burnout in that aspect like as well. Like whether that be trying to plan the content out, trying to film it, trying to edit, trying to post it, like it's a lot. And like when you don't,
I think it's also like when you like sometimes if like something that you're posting is not doing well and you kind of look at other people, what's working for them, so then you try to like do what someone else is doing and you're like, okay, maybe if I tried making a piece of content that's like theirs, that might work for me. So you try that, then that doesn't work, so you try a different route or whatever, and nothing seems to be working, and you get to this point of like, oh my gosh, I'm over it, like I'm burnt out, I'm trying everything, I'm posting 10 times a day, nothing's working. When in reality, like I mentioned, it's like everyone has their own time. You have to stick to what's authentic to you. Because at the end of the day, you can recreate somebody else's like whatever that they're posting, but that's not what you want to post. So if you're posting something that's not necessarily what you want to post or what you want to do or what you want to talk about or whatever, it shows through your content that like that's not something that you're very like interested in, versus if you're posting stuff that aligns with you, aligns with what you want to do, aligns with what you want to talk about. Sure, maybe it's not going to do well at first, but if you keep pushing through with that, then it's like eventually it'll attract the right people that want to hear what you have to say about that, and you're passionate about that. So it's like that's not going to burn you out because you'll know what to talk about. You'll know what kind of video to create because it's something of interest to you.
100%. And it's like inauthentic if you're trying to recreate stuff that other people are doing. And like, obviously there's nothing wrong with taking inspiration from other people's videos and getting ideas. But putting your own twist on it and putting your personality is what is going to set you apart. And it's like, I feel like I've struggled with that. Is like, you know, my page hasn't really kind of like grown or blown up like the way I want to, but this is where the discipline comes in. Is like, it's been years of this, right? But it's like, I'm staying disciplined, I'm staying consistent, and I've never, like, I've done trends and I've done, you know, recreations of other people's videos, but what works for other people is not going to work for my page. Something that blows up on theirs is not going to blow up on mine because I'm not them and they're not me. And I don't want to be somebody else. I want to post stuff that's going to make me happy, that's going to, you know, resonate with my followers. Because what resonates with my followers isn't going to resonate with Krista's, right? And so it's going to be the same across the entire board.
And so it's also like if you're like if you're recreating a piece of content that somebody else did, let's say you know, that is not aligned with like all the videos you usually kind of do or whatever. Let's say that's the one video to kind of blow up and you attract an audience from that video. They're going to be useless followers or useless people. Like, you're not building a community because they're here for that type of content, but like that's not the type of content you create. They are following you for the video that blew up, but that video that blew up was your recreation of like something else to just be like, okay, maybe this will make me blow up type of thing. Sure, it made you blow up, but it's like, it didn't make you blow up for what you want, you know? And like, sometimes it's like, you know, somebody that has 1 million followers versus somebody that has like 100 followers. That person with 100 followers probably has more engagement and more of a community than the person with 1 million followers, because it's like that 1 million follower person people came to them through different videos that blew up for different reasons or whatever, versus the 100 follower person, it's like a specific community that they have.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, it's more focused.
Damn, that was a lot.
I know. She went off there. I was like sitting here like, okay. I was like, let me not interrupt because I don't want to cut this off. But damn, she went off there. No, that's literally true, because it's like those 100 people that are following that person, they're there for a specific reason, because they want to see more of that content from that person. They're more focused. And those are the people that are, you know, maybe going to buy something from you, that are going to translate into your business or whatever the case is, versus a million following count. All of those people are probably like bots. They're random people. They're not actually going to be loyal followers. They're not actually going to engage with your content because they followed you for something that just like blew up and came on their timeline.
Yeah.
And for me, it means more to me if somebody's like, oh, this content or piece of whatever you put out today, this video you put out today
resonated.
Resonated. Or got me to the gym or whatever, versus maybe that video got like, I don't know, like 100 views or whatever. Yeah. Versus a random video that blows up and nobody kind of like engages or, you know, has
it's just
nice.
Like it blew up because it's like whatever, a trend or like a specific whatever, you know.
And like I want it to be meaningful, and that goes back to tying back to what we initially said, is like discipline, and that being tied and rooted to something that you're truly aligned with, and something that, you know, is intentional and really just driving your why really keeps you pushing forward in every aspect of your life, because we're staying disciplined with the content that we're putting out because we know our reasoning and our why behind it, and it's not based off of an inauthentic way. We're not trying to be somebody else. We're being true to ourselves, and we know that's going to resonate with the right people.
Exactly. But it's true that like it can be very hard. Like I know so many people that do social media, whether you're an influencer, a content creator, just like your job revolves around social media. You can have such a burnout from it because the algorithm is always changing. And like truthfully, virality is like, it's based on luck. Half of the time it's based fully on luck. Like that one video to blow up, like maybe one person, like Sierra could post a video that, you know, whatever it is, maybe it's just her standing just straight, blows up, 1 million views, blows up, whatever. Did she get one? Then maybe I'll do the same, standing just straight, whatever, and that video can do 2 views. You know, it's like, it's a little bit based on luck, but it's also like over time, you creating a video or videos or content that resonates with yourself and like what you want to share with the world. Slowly by slowly, even if you get like 1 follower from that one person might buy something that you're selling to them, might join your business, whatever it is, versus just a bunch of people following you because, oh, your video that just blew up was super funny. Let me follow you. I hope you post more of that.
100%. Because then if you post like other stuff that's not even related to what they're like initially followed you for, then they're going to be like, unfollow. Exactly. So just stay true to yourself in that aspect.
But going back to content creators and like burning out, like it's such a common thing in this industry because you're always trying to be like, you're trying to always put yourself out there, see what can work, and it can be exhausting. Like at the end of the day, there's also, when you have like a specific niche too, in some people's brains, it's like there's so much you can put out for that, you know, without being like, okay, well, now I don't know what to post about or I don't know what to do. And so a lot of people spiral on that, or like, you know, like comparison is like a big thing on social media where you see somebody else doing super well and like maybe your stuff is not doing as well or whatever the case is. And you just go through this like big cycle and spiraling of that. And it's like, you feel can't.
Like you burn out like from that.
Yeah.
And it's like you get in like your head, you know, you start, you know, self-doubting and just talking negatively.
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like how you mentioned earlier, sometimes when we're not doing anything, like when we're whatever, it can feel like we're not being unproductive. And like, you know, that's why a lot of people don't like want to take a rest day for themselves. But like sometimes your rest doesn't mean like just doing nothing. Like you can be intentional with your rest days, like whether that's an act for people when you're going to the gym or whatever. A rest day can be an active recovery day where you're doing a little bit of mobility, stretching, like walking, like you're not doing nothing. You know, for your brain, it could simply be, you know, you're taking time to just put your phone away for a little bit and maybe you're just writing down positive thoughts, like a gratitude journaling, you know, or reading something, like fueling your brain and like your energy. That's all a part of rest.
That's the thing. I think it's like rest is like, you know, sometimes looked upon like as a bad thing because like you said, like we always want to be doing something. But I think the key component is like intentional rest.
Yeah.
Right?
Like there's different types of rest. There's like the physical aspect of rest. There's an emotional aspect of rest.
Yeah.
There's like a mental aspect of rest.
Yes. There's everything. And it's like something that like I do is like, obviously our phones always have to be like with us and like on, right? But on like my Sunday when like I reset, I like to try and put it on like D&D.
Her phone's always on Do Not Disturb, and I don't really care about that. I will disturb you anyways.
She will disturb me. She will disturb my peace. She'll be like, "Why is your phone on D&D?" Send. I'll be like filming something like a podcast for like work or whatever, and she's like, "Why is your phone on D&D?"
Okay, well you do the same thing on the one-off occasions that I have
your phone,
but when I do,
whatever,
I get a notification.
That's true. I'll be like, "Why is your phone on D&D?" Like,
yeah. So like the D&D concept doesn't really apply to
just
us.
Anyways, besides the point, I like to try and like not get distracted by my phone if I'm setting like up some like intentional rest for myself and a time away from my phone, because I feel like if your phone's on, you're always getting notifications, right? And like for us, we are always on our phone, so we're always, you know, having to check our emails, check whatever. But like on those days or even for like a few hours, I like to turn off like my phone just on D&D, just so I don't get like distracted by like the internet, social media, just notifications, just so I can like mentally reset my brain and be like, okay, I'm not gonna look at my phone, I'm not gonna like think of anything, and then that allows me to, you know, step away and reset my mind for the week and just set myself up. And I think another like example of like burnout could be a way of like work. For me personally, like when I don't get enough like sleep and I don't get enough rest, or I'm doing so much throughout the weeks, like after work in the evening, that bleeds over to my work day the next day.
100%.
We both have to be up early and everything. So like if we're doing stuff late at night, if we're going to film the podcast, if we're filming whatever, doing whatever, XYZ,
it's just going to be groggy the next day.
It's going to be groggy. And like I experienced that so much, or I used to, where now I'm like trying to, obviously I make sure my like evening weekdays are set, you know, for time where I'm in bed. I go to bed early. I'm a grandma. I go to bed at like 9:30 because the next day, obviously, I'll be up early. But, you know, there have been lots of times where we've been out, like, you know, during the week till, I don't know, like 12 or 1 or whatever the case is, and you're not getting to bed till late, and then you have to be up the next day by 8. How is that possible? That's not okay. So I feel like it's knowing what your body needs. Some people can't function like that,
but it's not good for you.
It's not good for you, and like, it's not gonna last.
You need at least 7 hours of sleep. Like at least the bare minimum. Like obviously sometimes it's bad, but you might not get it. But like you should. And that's an example because it's like you're putting so much energy into one thing that is going to affect the other thing. So if I spend time late at night editing something for like my personal stuff or working on something for our brand or whatever, and I'm up till 12, let's say I don't go to bed till 1, then the next day I have to wake up for work, I'm not going to be as productive. The quality of my work is not going to be as good because I burnt myself out the night before on that. So it's you have to keep boundaries for yourself and like knowing when to, again, like when do I need to actually stop, put the phone away. Like even at night, there's, you know, I used to have like such a nice like nighttime routine of like winding down everything. But being somebody that like posts on social media or like every single thing relates to like being on my phone and whatever, when I'm in my winding down, I used to have a show that I would watch every day before I go to sleep. I have my time for my 30-minute episode of my show, and that was my time to like, you know, log out or like read a book. Now, regardless, if I have a show playing, I'm on my phone working, like editing, responding to emails, whatever the case is. And I'm like, if you think about it, if you're in a 9-to-5 job, who in the world is clocking out or clocking in, responding to emails at 11 o'clock at night?
They're not.
They're not.
They clock in and they clock out at 4 p.m.
Exactly.
And then they're watching their show for the rest of the night.
Exactly.
But that's not us because we're productive baddies.
We're productive baddies, but sometimes we have to know when to like slow it down, make those like work blocks for ourselves. And like those, I feel like blocking your day is like such a good thing to like make sure you don't reach burnout in your day, where it's like you have your time blocks of like, okay, I'm going to the gym at this time. I'm working on, I have a work block of this amount of time, and then I have a block for just resting or like seeing my friends or whatever the case is.
Yeah. I think that's super important, because then like you always have so many things in your brain that you know that needs to get done, that you're gonna, you know, it has to get done by a certain time.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you don't like write it down and kind of keep intentional work blocks or times or things that you need to do, then you're just gonna be constantly like scattered and be like, okay, I need to get this done, but I need to get this done too. I need to get this done. No, like just stop for a moment, make sure you have that set time. And I feel like some people say like, oh, it's so structured, like during your day, like, you know, you want to be flexible during the day to whatever, to adapt if things change. Yes, you need to be able to adapt if you need to move your work block till later in the night or move stuff around. But I think designating time to be like, okay, for these 2 hours in the night, I know once I'm done all my other work, I'm going to set some intentional time to work on that thing I said I was going to do, or edit this thing I said I was going to do, because I know it's going to benefit me. So blocking out your time is super important, and that's also a way to not be burnt out, is setting those times and setting the time for your reset, your self-care, all of those things. Even the show that you used to watch, like I know it's hard, like, you know, to be on your phone, like, you know, it is hard, like, because I'm the same way. If I'm watching a show, I'm like, okay, like I need to be doing something.
And then I'm like, wait, what happened? What do you mean he died?
Like even like last night I was home like with my nephews, and they wanted to watch like a movie. Their thing is like they watch like the movie theater popcorn, and they want you to like make the popcorn, whatever.
I miss them. I love them.
And I was working from home, and I was working all day. They got home from school at like 2:30, and then since they got home, they were like begging me to come downstairs. I was like, okay, Cece just needs to finish like, you know, a few more hours like of her stuff, and then get stuff out the way, and then I'll come down. And they set a timer literally to come get me.
I actually love them.
Yeah, for like 6:30 p.m. And I was like rushing to get everything done. They sat there asking like, how much time is left on the timer? I was like, I'm coming, just wait. But like, I told them I was going to spend time with them. I was home that day, where the rest of the week I know is going to be out. And I was like, okay, let me just like, you know, set that time with my nephews, because I'm not there every day, right? And I found myself even like being downstairs, I was like on my phone editing while we were watching the movie. And I was like, no, like, let me just put it down for like at least an hour, snuggle with my nephews, and like have that time. Because when else am I going to get that time? They're growing up, right?
They're not little anymore.
They're not little anymore. And it's like kind of catching yourself in those moments about being like, oh wait, like I told myself I was gonna focus on this, or, you know, set my phone aside, not look at my phone, not doom scroll, not work on this thing, and set intentional time to be with your family, be with your friends, be whatever. And that's another thing, like when we hang out, like we're not really like on our phones that much, unless we're like working on stuff.
And that's like something I do with like everyone. That's why it's like if I'm out with someone, or like whatever the case is, my phone, like no one will hear from me, but everybody in my life knows she's probably like hanging out with somebody. Because I'm like, I'm not, I just don't, it's for me, like, because I'm always on go, or I'm always like busy during the days, I don't really like, I'm the worst texter in the entire world. So I'm like, if I'm seeing my friends or whoever it is in person, like I make sure to like put the phone away and like actually be present in the moment with them, because I know I don't talk to them throughout the day or whatever it is. So it's like, I need to make sure that I'm keeping those relationships that I have and being intentional. But like, like if we're like, even for us, like we don't go on our phone when we hang out unless we have like a working session or something. But like, other than that, no one's hearing from us.
No one's hearing from us. It's like, we'll text, you know, we got here, whatever. And then like, you won't hear until like we leave the thing.
Exactly.
So it's like setting
and that's like my biggest pet peeve actually. If I hang out with someone and you're like on your phone, I'm like, like, even if you're just bye, like I'll go.
Like, sure, if you need like a second just to be like, okay, let me just respond to this. Give me like 5 minutes. Like, we understand. Like, we're busy too. But if you're sat there and we're hanging out and you're just like scrolling, like,
I can't do that. It's actually my biggest pet peeve. Like, even if I'm with somebody, like, and I'm like, I need to respond to this text or whatever, I'm literally like, okay, blah, 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 I'm gonna text you back later, whatever.
And she can't multitask, so I know when she's texting.
So that's why it's even worse for me, because I'm like, I can't even like text and have a conversation with somebody at the same time.
She'll be like, I'll literally be talking to her, and she's like, okay, what?
You're the same way.
I know. I'm like, okay, let me talk to you in 5 minutes when you're done.
But I think that's a good thing. And honestly, it's like a lot of people in my life have said that, like, I'm very grateful that, like, you're never on your phone when I'm, like, with you. And I'm like, well, yeah, because why am I on my phone? I'm with you. Yeah. We're hanging out.
Yeah, it's like spend time, like, with that person.
Yeah.
And, that's how you avoid burnout in, like, your social friend situations and all that stuff, too. Because if you feel like, a strain or whatever, maybe try setting intentional time and being with those people and X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
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 I guess, like, all in all, with everything that we've kind of mentioned and talked about, our biggest thing for you guys is kind of like when you're thinking about pushing yourself and being productive, it's kind of like it's not defined by how many things that you're getting done necessarily, but it's like how many things are you doing while showing up properly, while doing those things. Like if you're starting to do a task and you're finding yourself like kind of checked out, that's your sign to take a break from whatever it is that you're doing. Take that rest for yourself, because it's like if you continue to push through and you're like, no, I'm being so productive right now, like I can do this, your work is going to be terrible.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
It's like if you're struggling with that task or getting something done, take a step back and maybe come back to that tomorrow. Because if you continue working on that task or whatever you're working on and you feel kind of like burnt out from that, literally just pause for a second.
Yeah.
Revisit it maybe in a few hours. Yeah. Maybe go to the gym to clear your mind or do whatever you need to do to clear your mind. Come back to that task with a fresh, clear mind. And then tackle it. Because if you keep going at it when your head is like just thinking about so many different things you need to get done, the work that you put on that task is not going to give you the result that you want. And that's with anything. It's like you feel
even for like, we've talked so much about kind of like being productive and being burnt out with like the work you do and the things that you do, but it also plays a role if you're somebody that's a very sociable person and you are constantly seeing people, hanging out with people, making time for everybody, you will get burnt out from just seeing people in general. Like you need to know when to take a step back and be like, hey guys, you know what? It's been a long week. Let's hang out on this day. Like, if this is somebody that you haven't seen in a while, of course, try to like show up and be there. But if it's like somebody that, you see very frequently, just know kind of where to prioritize things and when to say no, when to take a step back and be like, I'm currently mentally exhausted. I just need a break to myself. I need time with myself. And like we said, like kind of think about where in your life do you feel like you're forcing like something, or you're forcing yourself to do something or show up to something. And if you find yourself forcing yourself, take a step back. Like it's kind of knowing the difference of like when to go, when to not, when to take a break, when to not.
And that's with anything. Like, even if you're pursuing like, a side hustle or business or a job or whatever, not saying to just completely give up that thing, but if something is continuously not working, maybe stop for a second again, see if that's serving you, take a step back and see how you can revisit that, or maybe you need to leave that behind for a second to focus on something else. It's all about shifting your mindset and shifting like where you're putting your focus.
Right? And it's like the combination of mixing your discipline for something while also mixing your like rest and like your way of just like taking a break, because they work together versus a lot of people are like, no, I don't want to take a break. I don't want to take a rest, whatever in there. Like it's such an opposite term for a lot of people, where in reality, it's like rest and discipline work together.
Yeah. And you need both to work beside each other to give you like the result that you want, because you can't have discipline without having rest. And you need to find a good balance of that, whether that's
because you can't rest too much, because then you're being lazy.
We don't want no lazy people. But also if you're too motivated and too disciplined and too like on top of everything, then you're just gonna burn yourself out, and you don't want that either.
Because
it's all about finding a good balance of it.
It's not about doing more or doing less. It's about how much can you do well, and be fully with your mind fully present. And that's in any situation. So just learning, you need to learn that within yourself though, because what we define as rest may not be your version of rest. What we define as discipline also may not be your version. You might listen to this and be like, I don't need rest, I don't need whatever, But you do, and like maybe it it shows up in different ways for your life. So take a step today if you're listening to this. Write down and reflect back of like, what does discipline mean to me? What does taking a break look like for me? Where in my life am I finding that I'm like pushing myself too much? Where can I take a step back? And write that down, reflect on that.
Yeah, because once you like write that down, reflect on it, you might be able to see something you never saw before. Might be being like, oh wow, I was really pushing myself too hard in this, that it was affecting this other aspect of my life. Maybe I was too focused on work and I've neglected all of my friendships. Maybe I'm too focused on my social life and saying yes to everything, that my work and my career are falling behind. It's all about finding the right balance for like you and for your life. Of everything. Because when you put too much effort into one thing, then something else falls. So it's all about kind of balancing that scale out and finding like, you know, what works. And it's always changing. You're never going to be perfect. You're never going to find the complete perfect balance of everything.
And different seasons change, you know, like you might have a season where like you have an extreme workload coming at you and like you have to find a way to balance your work and your social life, versus you might have another season where it's like, you know, your work life is like a little bit more less in balance, but like you also don't want to catch yourself just like doing nothing, you know, so
so there's different seasons. Like, you know, I feel like we're kind of in like the grind season where it's like very go, go, go. Obviously we're still taking our time to rest, but
it also doesn't help that the weather has been terrible here.
I need it to be sunny
so,
and nice.
You know, when it's like spring and summer and like the sun is just out, you just feel more, you feel like getting up and doing stuff and like walking around and like being productive, versus like a cloudy day outside. I'm like,
I want to stay in bed all day. I don't want to do nothing.
Exactly.
So, you know, the winter depression is a real thing.
But we're slowly coming out of that.
We're coming out of the winter depression.
Toronto is about to be filled with joy. We have also got the FIFA Cup coming this way. Oh my God, it's going to be a busy time.
It is going to be a busy time, but it's okay. It's going to be good.
It's going to be good. But well, that kind of concludes our discussion today, our little talk today. We hope that, you know, you took something away from this. Like we mentioned, you know, if you're listening to this right now, take a moment to reflect on kind of what you heard and what we've said and how that resonates in your life, because it truly does make a difference to differentiate like when you're pushing too hard and like when to take a break and like rest. So
no, 100%. Just take a moment to pause, step back, and reflect today. So and make sure to, as always, follow us on our podcast socials at between.reps.
I think it's between.reps.
Between.reps on our TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. And then our event page, Sculpt Fitness _ events, to stay updated on our latest events, because we have a lot of exciting ones.
We have so many exciting ones. So if you're somebody that wants to make new friends in the wellness fitness industry, our community is the nicest group of people. Literally everybody that comes, whether they're familiar faces, whether they're new faces, everybody has always been so welcoming and nice. So it's really nice to see. And we can't wait to see.
Oh my gosh, okay. We can't wait to see how that grows in our podcast. Honestly, this has been so fun. Like, it's so crazy to think like we're actually just sitting here talking on a podcast like, that's ours.
Insane.
Like, what?
It's literally reflecting back though. It's honestly, it's so nice because both of us have never been very like confident public speakers necessarily, like
especially about like our feelings and just everything.
God, no, our feelings are absolutely, like I said, we're Taurus. We are stubborn, but we also are like emotionally close.
That's like we're emotionally in tune with like our emotions, but we're also like, it takes a while for us to like talk about things. And we're stubborn when like somebody tries to like talk to us about something. So we're just,
like if someone has a disagreement with us, like, it's kind of like,
what do you mean?
What do you mean? It'll take us time, and then we'll reflect back and be like,
oh, I guess you're right.
I guess you're right, but like, whatever.
That's the Taurus in us.
That's the Taurus. That's that dog in us.
That's that dog in us.
Cut the cameras. This is our sign to goodbye, guys.
Goodbye. Honestly, this is Cece and
Krista.
I thought you were going to say Criddle.
Guys, I went from having no nicknames in my life because my name is Krista. Like, what are you going to call me, Chris? So anyways, but this year I've now have so many different nicknames. They don't really make sense. Some of them are like,
she's Critta.
I'm Critta. I'm Criddles. What was the other one?
I don't know what's the other one.
Anyways, but Critta and Criddles are my current nicknames, and like only my friends can call me that though.
But it's okay. It's a cute
you have
nickname,
you have to become a certain level with me to call me that.
Yeah, it's okay. We're that level. So Criddles, Critta.
Criddles and Sissy.
Yeah.
But anyways, you guys, we appreciate every single one of you that is listening, that continues to listen. And as always, like, message us. Like, if you guys want us to talk about a certain thing, or like,
we should do that. We should do like a question,
like a questionnaire. Yeah. If you guys have any suggestions for us, even, let us know.
Yeah.
Drop it in the comments.
Yeah. And we're so excited to, you know, have you guys along this journey with us. So,
yeah.
We'll see you in the next one.
Goodbye.
Bye.